In this video, I'm going to depart a little bit from my usual MO of doing a video a week on the latest software I'm trying to learn. So far, it has revolved around Affinity, Camtasia, Canva, and now Blender. Of course, if you want to watch a bunch of videos about serial killers from my first year of my YouTube experience, be my guest. As I promised when I started my YouTube channel, I haven't deleted anything, no matter how unfortunate it was. As I finished my latest video and checked out my bank account to see if I have enough for my latest computer upgrade, I got to thinking of all the technology changes that have happened through my lifetime. So I decided to take you guys on a little trip down memory lane, starting with the first piece of technology I used, all the way to the present. And what a long, strange trip it's been. Unless you are of the mature persuasion like me, or have a parent or grandparent that was an engineer who hung on to it, you probably don't know what this thing is. Well, it's called a slide rule. It actually made a short appearance in the movie Apollo 13, and if you blinked, you probably missed it. I sure didn't. It does all sorts of nifty calculations, and it doesn't need batteries, electricity, or the internet. I was on the slide rule team in high school. It was part of the math club. I wasn't especially gifted in math, but I made good grades. It was just something to do, and two of my friends were on it, and one of them was good-looking. Hey, don't judge me. A friend of mine took home ec, and his only reason was just to meet girls. Whatever works. In those days, you could find a giant slide rule in almost every math, physics, and chemistry classroom. My slide rule team went to contests where you were given a packet with 75 math problems to do in a certain amount of time. You were scored on accuracy and speed. I placed second in my district, so I got to go to regionals. Was I good? Not so much. My district wasn't very good, and that's being charitable. Needless to say, we got smoked. My slide rule was similar to this one, the Frederick Versalog. If you turn the slide rule on its side, you can see the brand, the date of manufacture, and where it was made. This one was made in Japan in 1951. My teammates used something called the Texas Speed Rule, which was yellow like this one and made of metal. The yellow made it easier to see. The model number on the end of the slide rule is N4-ES. ES stands for Eye Saver. At this point, I suffer from an eye problem called too many birthdays, so that ship has sailed. This slide rule was made by Pickett in 1959. The company, Pickett & Eckel, founded in Chicago, produced these slide rules from 1944 through the 1970s. The 5-inch pocket model went into space with Apollo 11 and Apollo 13. If you don't blink too fast, you can catch it in the movie Apollo 13. Richard Nixon was president when I last slid the slide for the last time. You can buy a slide rule off eBay and an instruction book from Amazon, proving that you can pretty much buy anything on Amazon and eBay. By the time my senior year rolled around, the calculator was replacing the slide rule. My first personal computer was the Tandy 1000. I bought it at this place called the Radio Shack. Radio Shack was a store that sold all sorts of electronics, and you could find these little stores everywhere. Now it only exists as an online store. My Tandy 1000 had two 5.25 floppy disks similar to these. One disk was to boot the computer and the other was for data. The operating system was MS-DOS. DOS stood for Disk Operating System. Typing in those instructions next to the command prompt. Ah, the good old days. Nope. When I was teaching, my first school computer was a Macintosh. It was so cute. We had to take classes to learn how to use it. I guess if we tried to learn how to use it on our own, it would explode. So much for learning by doing. My next personal computer was the Compact Presario. It was a tower computer and really heavy. It came with a CD-ROM drive and a 3.5 floppy disk. The floppy disk wasn't really floppy anymore. It ran Windows 95. I bought it at a place called CompUSA. By 2008, CompUSA was only a distant memory. I love those big computer stores. Glad you're still with us, Micro Center. The school where I worked from 2000 until my retirement had the Dell Optiplex and laptop carts with Dell Latitudes. The operating systems we used were Windows 98, 2000, and XP. I still think XP is the best operating system Microsoft ever developed. At least I never had to suffer through the Vista. Since Dell was what I used at work, I used Dell desktops and then moved on to laptops at home. I think it's what you get used to. Dell's founder, Michael Dell, dropped out of UT and is now a millionaire. I finished my degree at UT, and I'm not. But hey, who's bitter? Right now, I'm using the HP Spectre i7 laptop and running Windows 11. It was hard convincing myself to buy anything other than a Dell, but I really like it. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I would like to move on to more RAM and an updated graphics card. However, right now, I'm pretty financially embarrassed, so I need to wait on that one. There you are, my recollection road, so to speak. What a long, strange technological trip it's been. What do you guys remember about your past tech purchases? Let me know in the comments. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to stay tuned for when my next video drops.